Danielle's quiet home offers a connection to the community where lobster boats dot the horizon and neighbours are always there to lend a helping hand. But first, we'll visit Sara and Donny's waterside home. It's the perfect blend of peace and activity, with an indoor hot tub, screened-in porch, and kitchen view of the water. It's here that they find balance, surrounded by friendly neighbours and breathtaking water views. Water, deep, flowing, mysterious, ever-changing yet constant, the inspiration of artists and adventurers. It's the foundation of life. We are drawn to it, to watch it, listen to it, immerse ourselves, and for those who choose, to live beside it.
So my name is Sara Easterbrook, and I am from Mississauga, Ontario.
My name is Donny Easterbrook. I'm from Mississauga, Ontario as well.
I've always wanted to live by the water. My family's from the island, and I spent 30 summers here. And then when I met Donny, we came on our honeymoon, and he just fell in love with the island.
For my honeymoon, we went to the other side of the island, Tignish. She showed me where she grew up as a kid, and I fell in love with the people.
And we purchased a property, but it wasn't the property. And then we always said we wanted to live by the water. Actually, my realtor just sent it to me. So I was looking for an investment property, and I actually wasn't even considering a property on the water until he sent me this one. And it's not near us, it's 2.5 hours away, but I just fell in love. We came in, we viewed it, and we put an offer in on the spot.
When we purchased this place sight unseen, I always trust Sara. We actually purchased another place sight unseen as well too, and she didn't let me down on that one. The difference between the island and Ontario for me would be it's very, very peaceful, very quiet, very slow paced.
In Ontario, it was 2.5 hours to the cottage, but took 5 hours. Here is 2.5 hours to the cottage, and it takes 2.5 hours.
Water, I would say water is new to me, being part of my life. We didn't really grow up too much on the water. We did have our cottage though, where we would jump off the lake. So this one being on the river reminded me a lot of that.
I did grow up around water, so I spent 30 summers here on the island. I did my swimming lessons on the island. I swam in the ocean. I learned how to row boats in the ocean, and I've always been called. My family are fishermen. You know, they fish lobster, so it's been in my blood. So when you enter the front door, you're immediately in the open concept kitchen. And to the left, you're gonna find a fully stocked kitchen. And right ahead is the open concept living room, dining room type of area. So from the left, down the hallway, you're gonna find the full 3-piece bathroom. And then you'll find 2 generously sized bedrooms. And then at the end of the hallway, you'll find a gorgeously beautiful primary bedroom. And then from there, you'll come out, and to the right, you're directly into the 3-season sunroom with a beautiful 5-person hot tub that overlooks the river.
I would say the room I connect with the most would definitely be the 3-season room. It's the best spot to have some drinks and hang out with friends and just to relax and jump in the tub.
I connect with the kitchen the most. I like to work at the island because it has a beautiful straight view of the river. Our interior does have a theme. It's a nautical theme. That's what we fell in love with, is that the old kind of rustic charm, the open wood on the walls. It gives you that like nautical type of feel. And so we wanted to keep it that way.
I would say the unique thing about this place would be that 3-season room. We have several windows, so you have a really good view of the whole river, and I can see all the wildlife outside the windows there. It's great.
The size of it, because when you're outside, it doesn't look as big as it is when you come on the inside.
I would say the space in the place that grew on me the most would be the deck here. We put a little fire pit out there, and we got 4 chairs to hang out, and we've even done some marshmallows there. It's been great.
The bathroom grew on me. It's not a huge, spacious bathroom. It has sliding glass, which is not something that I would typically put into my house, but it grows on you, and it's actually quite easy to clean. So I really think the heart of our cottage is the deck. It just brings people together. Most people will naturally gravitate out there when they're here, and it's just laughs and good conversation.
From an interior perspective, no, there's not much I would change here.
Yes, I would absolutely change one thing. It's an indoor fireplace.
The one thing that would make me calm about being in this house would be the fact that it reminds me of a log cabin with the wood on the sides of the walls.
It is the quiet, but it's like the natural wood too, because you're kind of like bringing the outside in. So you kind of just feel like you're in the woods. So when you drive down the private dirt road, you're going to reach the front of our property. And from the driveway, you just walk right down to the river, and you just get this amazing view that just catches your soul. And then from there, you can enter onto our deck, again with that view. And then the piece de resistance would be the view from the screened-in porch.
With the dogs around the cottage, we love to run around the cottage with them. We'll take them on walks. And we can also throw the ball around with them here. We got lots of land.
My favorite thing about the exterior of our home is the screened-in porch.
My favorite thing about the exterior of the house would be probably the fire pit here.
When I get to see my property from afar, I feel successful. Like I've accomplished something. Everything that I've worked for my entire life has brought me to this moment that all that hard work that I've done has led to this moment of peace.
When I see the property from a distance, I feel a sense of pride that we were able to accomplish so much moving here, and very proud of my wife. She's been very great, and she's been super successful.
My favorite view from the exterior is right down at the edge of the water. I like to stand out there with the dogs. Sometimes we'll sit out there. I'll meditate down there.
Well, my favorite view would be same as Sarah's. It would be right from the waterfront, standing on the dock, the neighbor's dock, and taking in how our place looks from afar. The only natural phenomenon that heightens my experience would be just the water, the peaceful, calm sounds from the water, and just hearing the birds too.
The natural phenomenon would be the smell. Like a smell of nature and fishing and trees. And it's very difficult for me to explain, because a lot of people have asked me to explain that smell before, and you can't explain it.
My favorite thing about living next to the water is all the water activities that we can do here, whether it be wakeboarding or fishing. I just love being in the water. We love taking the paddle boards out, and we have a great laugh when we're out there on those.
What I love most about living by the water is just a sense of calmness. It's peaceful, it's tranquil. It is just a place for me to unwind and just forget the busyness of the world.
So when we got free time here, I like to just hang out on the couch. I don't mind playing like card games. Sarah will join me sometimes. And just to watch TV, relax. I'll chat with my brothers and watch sports.
So when I have free time up here, I like to read. I like to sit in the hot tub. I like to go for walks. I'll take a nap and just kind of enjoy being present, which is something that I think is missing. What I do that's self-reflective here is I read every single morning. I also like to meditate down at the water, and I like to walk the dogs. It's just calming, and they enjoy it. It brings us together, and it just brings me peace. So when I typically meditate at home, it's usually in a private room. I have my eyes closed, but when I meditate here, I sit down at the water and I keep my eyes open and I just reflect on where I'm at and I just try to bring myself to center. Most of the time, Jackson's sitting beside me too, so I'm just kind of petting him and he brings me a sense of calm. He'll lean right up against me too, so I get to feel his warmth.
So my friends and family, they love the place. It reminds my family a lot of the cottage that we grew up in.
So my friends and family love it when they come up here. They also find that sense of calmness and tranquility, and they have great things to say. And they often ask me, how I got here, and I'll explain to them how I got here and help them maybe find their piece of their dream. This property helps balance my life because it just takes me away from my everyday 9-to-5 hustle lifestyle, and it allows me to be present and center. I really find a sense of peace and calm here. I feel like I'm living when I'm here and not just hustling.
So our long-term goals of this place would be to retire here. Like, we love this place. This is where we want to, once we're done work, this is where we're going to hang out and do our hobbies.
We purchased this property with retirement in mind, so it is a long-term buy and hold game for us. We want to be able to grow old here. I think people like living by the water because it takes them away from their everyday grind. So they're not focused on their to-do list. They can actually just be in the moment. They can just feel a sense of calm and peace and be present.
I think people love living by the water because it's way more peaceful than to live in city life. I've grown up my whole life living next to roads where it's quiet and all you can hear is the vehicles. And you can really see it in the animals' behavior too when we're here.
Home to me is being with my family. So having Donny here, being with the dogs, just living in the moment. It's not any place or thing in a place, it's who I'm with.
For me, home would be, I guess, very similar, just being around Sara. That's wherever she is, that would be my home.
My name is Greg Allen. I'm from the West Coast.
My name is Danielle Boileau. I'm from BC originally. Oh, we've just celebrated our 24th anniversary. That was in June. We obviously celebrated it by playing golf, which is one of our favorite sports. That's how we met. We met in BC on one of the golf courses in a large ski resort. So that was part of the reason we moved here, was continue our golf activities.
We came out here in 6 years ago. Danielle had been looking online and had noticed this property a few times. And when it came on the market again, we decided that it was time to make the move. And Danielle had done most of the searching online. I had initiated it a number of years before, but Danielle was really keen on the criteria that we had set. We wanted a little bit of land. We preferred to have a rancher-style home, and we wanted it to be not necessarily in an urban environment or location, something a little bit more rural. And this property just seemed to check all the boxes.
The community is very tight-knit. We'd be there for them as they are for us. One of our neighbors is a lobster fisherman, and I tend to leave my cooler at the front door, and when he's got a nice fresh feed of lobster for us, we end up having it delivered right to the front door. When you first come into the home, it's expanded into a living room, dining room area. We have taken out a wall, and we added in a 150-year-old beam from a barn. One of the local guys here does restoration work and takes apart barns, and I knew where to find the right equipment, right highlights to put in the house. So we ended up doing that, and we have 3 bedrooms. The primary bedroom faces the waterfront, and there's an ensuite off of that, which has been renovated as well. It's more of a black and white theme. And in the hallway, we have a blue theme bathroom. And we have a couple more bedrooms just across the hallway. One's at the other end of the house. And each one of them's nicely air conditioned now, so it's much easier to sleep at night. And when you come through across our front windows near the living room, there's always a view of the waterfront, and the deck is fabulous. We've expanded the deck as well. So we have more furniture out there, and I have lots of plants. And then you head into the kitchen, which we've also renovated, painted all the cabinets, redone all the countertops and things like that, put in some new appliances, and still doing a couple little things. And we actually have a nice little half bath off of the laundry room as well. So the laundry room's just tucked away on the far end of the home. And then that leads into the garage. The interior is nautical theme. I've got some oars hanging up, and I've got one at the front door, a couple of oars that I hand painted. We have a lobster trap table. One of the local guys makes furniture out of the rustic wood, and he was the one that we got the beams from.
Well, first of all, it's all been Danielle. She's the red-green of our relationship. She's so handy, and she's done such amazing work, and her vision is amazing. So the heart of the home is the kitchen, and for 2 obvious reasons: Danielle being the fabulous cook that she is, but also when you own a Newfoundland dog, and we own 2, they want to be where you are, and most people hang out in the kitchen.
When you first arrive at the property, we have a horseshoe-shaped driveway, so it's nice and easy to get in and to get out as well. When you come around the side, everything's wide open. We don't have a lot of big trees. I believe it used to be farm land. Nice and easy to access the house as well, being a rancher style, which makes it easier to get up onto the deck and into the front door. We just added on a porch on the front entrance. So Dory will enjoy laying there in the wintertime and in the summertime. She can greet people as they come into the driveway, but very easy access to the beach again, just a nice open area. We have a ride-on mower that takes care of the lawn, but it's a huge necessity here, which Greg ends up driving most of the time. We did expand the deck. It was originally about 8 feet deep, and now it's about twice as big. And just wanted to take full advantage of the view to the water as well.
The sunrises here are just spectacular, and Danielle has gotten some very good pictures. If we were on the west part of the island, then the sunsets would be the most impressive. But since we're in the far southeast corner of the island, the sunrises, so it would be the view to the east, is just spectacular. The feeling of coming back to home, it's just a feeling of contentment. I look forward to the drive up Nation Point Road. As soon as I pass through the tree line, I'm going to be able to see home. And it's just such a sense of relief and pleasure.
I was really busy in the wintertime. I was working full-time for a company that sent me over the bridge quite a few times, and I had to leave my island. And every time I would come down my road and I was 5 minutes out, I knew I would soon be relieved and very, very happy. I think the thing I love the most is the sound of the water. I love watching the boats coming in and out. I just love going down to the beach and sitting in my deck chair and just watching the world go by. Just lots of different boats coming in and out. The sailboats, one of our neighbors is in and out all the time. It's very peaceful. It's just kind of my happy place. I've just been so used to being near the ocean most of all of my life. So when you get home from a hard day at work, it's just great to be able to relax and just mellow out and enjoy the view. And just enjoy the sounds of the ocean. I love that.
The thing that I like most about living close to the water is just having the access to it, to be able to like take the dogs down there for a swim and fetch sticks. And, if it's a really hot day, just jump in and just cool off. And then obviously being able to go kayaking is enjoyable. And it's just nice that it's there and it's just so accessible. And one of the things that I really enjoy watching the blue herons. They arrive usually around April, early part of April, and that's for me a sense that okay, spring is here, and just watching them in the water and trying to feed or just they're so stoic. They just stand there and they just look so majestic, and so that's just wonderful. Just being able to watch the herons, and occasionally a bald eagle will grace our presence too, and land up in one of the trees by the water, and it's just magical. I think that people enjoy living by the water for its tranquility, for its diversity in marine life and animal life, and it's such a calming sense and soundscape that it's just so peaceful and relaxing and comfortable, and that's what makes it, I think, in demand for so many people.
I think people just enjoy the view mainly, and just looking out on the ocean. It just gives you just a nice peaceful feeling. I think there's just something about the ocean that people gravitate to. I know I do. Anyway, I love being on the water, and if I'm in my kayak, and you just get that feeling of, I think it's just a tranquility thing a lot of times. Peaceful feeling. Home is where I share it with my husband. And we have no children, but we have our dogs. And at some point, we've had multiple dogs, and right now we have 2. But just being able to relax, enjoy cooking, sitting around chatting, just enjoying being here, and even nice and quiet. Just love being here with my husband. It's a great spot to be.
Whether nestled alongside a riverbank or perched high above a distressed ocean, living on the shore has its perks. But beautiful views are only the beginning. The sights, sounds, and sensations of the water are constant in their impact, improving moods, perspectives, and lives. To exist and grow on its edge is extraordinary, an experience made even sweeter when shared with the people we love.